Hello there, this is Divine TV. My name is Kemi Iwalesi, your host on this amazing show, She World, where we discuss everything about the female gender, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the very beautiful. As usual, I have an amazing guest on the show today who will introduce herself just after the break. Stay there. Welcome back. On the show today, we are going to discuss how parenting is overseas, especially US as a case study. My guest is going to introduce herself before we begin the discussion.
Hi, my name is Murko Weswe.
Thank you, Dupe.
Yes, thank you. You're welcome.
I have known you for years, and I know the first 7-10 years of your children's lives were spent in Nigeria before you relocated.
That's true.
Was there a culture shock when you got there?
Yes, there is. And I thank God that gave me the wherewithal to handle it. Because it's a total different environment to raise kids. But the first thing I did when we got there was to put them in a private school for a year.
Okay.
So they can blend.
Okay.
Then after that, I took them out of private school, put them in a public school.
Okay.
But when they were still at the private school, one day, there was a report that came in about my daughter. And she was hanging out with some set of people that the teacher doesn't like. I didn't argue. I just told her, I said, right there in their presence, I called airline. I said, how much will it cost for a one-way ticket to go to Nigeria? I put in the speakerphone so she won't think I'm working, I'm playing games. So after that, they told me, I said, okay, I'll call you back. I dropped the phone. I said, Jennifer, I'm buying your ticket. You either do and be right, or you go back and stay with grandma. Thank God it works. Getting back to school, the teacher called me the following week, sent a note that he wanted to talk to me. I said, what did you do? This was a serious 360-degree turnaround. She didn't even talk to them, come home, sitting with them. I said, really? So all I told her was she's going back to stay with my her grandma, which is my mom, and all this she's enjoying will not be there. I said, wow. So thank God it works, like I said. I've seen it different ways because the law actually messes parenting up over there. I'm not going to lie. You can touch your kid, you can beat them, you can say anything wrong, you can do this, you can do that. They can report you touching them when they get home. When they get to school. I don't beat, but I can talk. So, and this is what I keep putting in their mind. That to be a leader, there's some traits you have to have from now. A leader don't lie. A leader must not be a thief. A leader must not be a thug in school. Now, you have to be a leader. Being a leader means you have to be dependable, reliable. So that's my national anthem for them.
Wow.
Every day. And I always remind them, I'm a single mom. And don't forget, I'm the only one. One thing I always pray parents do with their children is let them know your weight. Knowing your weight is how much you make. Don't be the fake person. If you let your children know that all you have is this much, and you lay down your bills and let them know, God helping us, they will know where the game goes wrong and where to stop. So I always tell them, for me, once your name is mentioned somewhere negative, now your record is messed up. I don't have money for bail. Come to talk of money for lawyer. I can't afford it. They know how much I make. They know how much comes in. And they know how much bills we got to pay. So I always make it clear to them that this is how much I make. So don't go about causing trouble thinking you have a mother who is going to fight for you. Yes, if you're right, I'll back you up. But still, you don't have to fight. And I thank God, because I've seen it all. When there was this game, the things they do in my son's school that they call it Star of the Week. The first star, the second time, the third time, the counselor now called me. It's only you that show up every day for this breakfast. Is it that so busy that it doesn't come? I said, I'm a single mom. I said, you're what? Then Andrew said, that's my mom, that's my dad. And the woman said, I take care of my son with my husband, and the boy is in rehab. How do you do it? I said, if I tell you I know I'm doing it, I'm lying. I give it up to the man up there.
The God factor.
Yes. Because it takes God. I'm not going to fool you. It takes God. And what I did then was, we go out together in the morning, and I make sure I'm home to help them with their homework. So there's no room for anybody going anywhere or doing anything wrong. I don't do extra job. I don't do overtime. I don't do anything. So we stick within that income then. And thank God, they turn out good. And this is what I always tell them then, that you have a record to keep in this country. There's some job you're going to do once your record is messed up. Forget it. You cannot. And for you to be up there, you have to have good record. I always chant that every time. Because when you leave the children in the house, they tend to take care of themselves on their own. TV is training them. Outsider is coming in, talk to them, peer pressure. They have all that in school. And the law, like I said, is not even encouraging how we raise children. Now, you are my neighbor. You look out for me, right? You don't even know your neighbor sometimes.
Okay, yeah, I know.
They don't even, you say good morning, what is good in the morning? Somebody will ask you, why are you greeting me? What's good about the morning? That was when I first got there. I later realized, these people they're not friendly. So I stayed to my own apartment. But the thing is, I make sure they don't eat fast food. But I get paid every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks. The first 2 weeks, we pay rent, pay bills, pay everything. But the other 2 weeks is for the little bills. I take them to diners, we eat together. I take them to movies, we go watch movies. Everybody come home, be happy. And I make sure I cook. I make sure I'm always home. I make sure I help them with what is going on with them. And another thing I did was, I pay the price of neighborhood. I always look out for which neighborhood will not tamper with the growing of your children, because neighborhood also determines.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
One thing we need to think about and look at, especially now in Nigeria, that's jackpying, in case you don't know what that means, relocation, is trending in Nigeria now.
Yes, ma'am.
And a lot of people, I'm sure some of the people watching me, are looking at doing that. You need to know how to train your child or your children in the environment they are in. Here in Nigeria, where I live currently, you can shout, you can slap, you can do anything. I'm not talking about abuse, but form of discipline, in quotes, that we use here does not work overseas.
No.
Your children can be taken away from you.
Yes.
The state owns the children, not you. In Nigeria, you own your child. Overseas, the state owns the children. You are just a custodian. One thing we need to know is that there are some environments, there are some neighborhoods that are not good for children, not even good for adults.
Yes.
Not to talk about impressionable children. It may be a bit more expensive.
Yes.
You need to pay
The price.
the price. One other thing I would like us to discuss,
Yes, ma'am.
because I remember when I came on holiday, I realized your children speak Yoruba.
Yes.
And I knew they were speaking Yoruba when they were younger.
Yeah.
But seeing them maybe 10, 15 years later, they were still speaking Yoruba.
And
I was
they still
impressed.
speak.
people in Nigeria, we are bringing up our children not to speak Yoruba. Let's go on this short break so that we come back to that. You're welcome back. You're still on She World, where we discuss the female gender, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the very beautiful. And I was asking my guest a question, how she's been able to maintain her children speaking our local language. When we who live in Nigeria, some of our children don't know how to speak our local language. I'm a Yoruba person. And if my child cannot speak my language when we are in the environment where the language is being spoken, how did you do it?
Well, in the house, I don't understand English. Wow. When they talk my baby, wow. So I kept that trend. I let them, when they left, they were still young. And they can speak it. And we kept the train going. And that helps a lot. But sometimes you want to caution your child. You want to stop them from acting the fool in the outside. All I would say, that's you. Ere gele. When the moment I say ere gele, they know what I mean. They know, don't do it. I love my son. Sometimes he wants to tell me something. And I will be a shaman. Now, the fun in it is you can caution them, you can gist with them in a quick form, you can get them to get something done in a quick form. Hey, there's nothing wrong in letting your kids speak your language. I'm so sad, heartbroken, because Chinese children, they are learning Yoruba now.
Yeah, unfortunately for us.
It would be so sad that these children will be the one now teaching our own children how to speak our own language. Brazilians, they have Yoruba speakers. Ghana, they have Hausa Yoruba speakers.
Yes.
If you know what is embedded in Yoruba language, I doff my cap. That I'm always happy that I'm from a Yoruba speaker. I'm proud to be a Yoruba lady. Because it's so culturally filled with a lot. Some of my foreign friends will see me, it's like, you guys have so many types of food. Are we talking about the food? How many things will you pick yam up to make out of? You make yam out of it, you make dundu out of it, you make asharo out of it, you cook it by itself, by steaming it, you bake it. Now go away even from the food. My son is grown now, they're all grown now, they're on their own, but guess what? They still come around and say, Mom, cook me that food. Cook me this food. Wow, right. But this is my joy that I didn't lose track. When you call home, I called a friend of mine trying to talk to her. Dogba go for you. Say, what did you just say? When I've been conscious, Dogba go for you. Say, I don't understand. And my friend pick up the phone. Nigeria. You spend so much to teach that child how to speak English. But you back again come and spend so much to teach him Yoruba in future. Because you're going to regret not letting him or her speak this language, because there will be a time in a crowd or in a community or in a place you just want to say something snappy. But because you can't say it, because you know that boy don't understand, will it be his fault? No. It's not his fault. It's your fault. That's when you're going to regret it.
Wow. Our culture is so rich.
Very rich.
And unfortunately, we are losing it.
Yes.
Aside from the language, our culture is embedded in our language. And I remember years ago when I was working, I had some Igbo colleagues. And if I'm discussing something in Yoruba and they tell me, oh, Kemi, please, what is that in English? I'll look at them and I said, the translation will be lost in English.
Shameful. That's right.
And that's the truth.
And that's the truth.
The translation will be lost in English. And that is why when you even see them, the English people, the Caucasian and all that, when they see us and see our culture, they love it. They see you putting on maybe buba and wrapper with a head tie or anything. They want to take picture of you. They are excited. And I am ashamed to even wear that.
No, I'm proud.
As an African.
No,
why? How?
Not me. I'll tell you this, ma'am. For me, I'm so, when it comes to pride in my culture, I take a pride in it.
I know.
I go to store in Iran, Buba. I know. Bunch of my clothes. I don't dress in, she is English woman. Me, I'm a typical Yoruba woman because it's always around Buba and my scarf is all in my hair. But the thing is, when you go to store, you see people look at you and say, hey, you are beautiful.
Yes.
All because of that native that you are wearing. You say, oh, look beautiful. Like, can I touch it?
Yes.
So why are you not proud of what you are, or who you are, or where you're from, or what your culture curtails? And that is something that, let me say it, because this English will not go good. Is there English for that? Can somebody give me English for that?
Your head is swelling.
That's not the proper. That's not the true.
That's transliteration.
That's transliteration, though. But the actual translation is, it makes me feel proud of who I am. Like, when people see you, you see, this is one thing. You see the Indians, once they don't even play with that culture. I've not seen any Indian child that don't know how to speak that language.
No.
That don't know how to dress in that clothing.
No.
I mean, your son, Andrew, front of his car is Nigeria.
I know your children are Nigerian children. Even my Jennifer is the Nigerian Jennifer.
Flag, even in her office, she has section for Nigerian flag. I mean, thank
Nigerian
God.
Jennifer.
Thank God. I thank God because, like I always say, it's not my doing. It's God's help. Because I've seen people who are 1 million times, what is that? Richer, well known. And their children didn't turn out good. Now the money they chase then, now they are using it to see if they can revive that child back. How much do I have that I'm going to ask them start paying for rehab? Abi? No, I can't afford that because rehab money is crazy, super crazy and expensive. And once they go to rehab, it takes God to bring them back. Because what took them to rehab might not be something you can get out of them like that easily.
It's getting interesting, I believe. One thing about it is the God factor. You cannot take it away from parenting.
No.
Nobody can beat his or her chest and say, I did it very well. But then, you don't leave everything for God to do.
No.
It will help you. So you need to set the precedent. You need to plan it. You need to begin to work it.
Exactly.
Then it will make it to be perfect.
That's right.
A child you do not speak your language to, God is not going to bring the language to the child to speak. A child you do not caution, God is not going to come from heaven to come and caution that child. So, intentional parenting is what we are talking about, both in Nigeria and in diaspora.
Yes.
We are going to continue this, but let's go on a short break now. You're welcome back. My guest is still here, and we're discussing how easy it is to parent children, especially overseas. We've discussed about the culture, we've discussed about the culture shock and everything. I'll still need us to discuss.
Yes, ma'am.
When they were younger, obviously when you got there, they were still in elementary school.
Yes.
How was high school and college?
Well, as for the elementary school, like I said, when they got their first thing, I put them in private school. Actually, the private school I took to the company I work for, so it makes it easier for me. All they want me to do is just do some few hours to get 50% off because it's an expensive school. and they took the rest out of my paycheck, which is good. So just 1 year, then I took them out and put them in public school. Public school is more or less the same thing, but peer pressure and everything. But you see, when you work with your kids, like letting them know your weight, how heavy or how light you are, and you keep chanting it to them every day, it helps a lot.
Okay.
And you're always around. You're not that mother that chase money because you want to build one mansion or you want to live in one mansion, because that's what's killing most of them. Yes, ma'am. Majority of them, they want to be who they are not. They want to show off to maybe friends and tell them they are this, they made it, they did this, they did that. No, I'm not in that boot. My own boot is my children. And my kids don't go sleep over in anybody's house. Everybody can come sleep over in my house. It's true. Because then I can watch them. I can see what they're doing. Then there was a Blockbuster. I'll rent all the movies they want. I'll rent it and bring it to the house. Go get them pizza, get them drinks, fill the house with everything they want. That weekend, we are home together. We rock it together and everybody go to their parents' house. They even thank me for bringing those children home. Fine, that's it. Actually, during the elementary time, we moved to a neighborhood somewhere in Scranton. That's in Pennsylvania. And this is a complete white neighborhood. Oof. You can actually finger count how many blacks live in that neighborhood. Wow. That's right. So they tried to bully my son because he doesn't talk much, but there's a parrot in the house. So they called me for a meeting and said, your son don't contribute in class. You might want to put him on special program. I said, sir, my first degree is in education. If you make my child feel he doesn't know what he's doing, I will sue you. Because he does his homeworks. He doesn't fail any class. So why talking in class should be an issue? There I noticed, because it's just 4 blacks in that school. Oof. 2 of them are my kids. Other 2, one is Egyptian and the other one is from Jamaica or Caribbean or something. My dear, I moved out of that state to go get another job somewhere where I know we have more blacks. So nobody will intimidate my child and make my child feel like he doesn't know what he's doing. At the end of the day, we sailed through that. Then they went to high school. High school was good. I still sing the same music. If you want to be a leader, you got to do this, you got to do this. And thank God, they took roles of leadership and know what it means to be a leader. Now, the fun part is college. The boy was to go to college first, so I don't want him to go too far. So I gave him reasons. We live in Texas. So I told him, I said, boy, you cannot go outside Texas. And you cannot go beyond 2 hours drive from me. So there's school in Denton, there's schools here, there's school here, there's school, I mentioned schools that he can pick from. And thank God he listened. One day, he forgot his ID. And that ID is going to use to go to library, he's going to use to go to class, he's going to use to eat. So now come, Mom, please, can you check my pocket? I left my ID. And I said, okay. Can you just mail it to me? I'm thinking that if I mail it, it's going to take 2 days. Are you telling my son is going to eat for 2 days? He's not going to go to the library for 2 days? He's not going to do anything. So the first thing in the morning, I picked up my car, drove down there. Fortunately, Rob, he wasn't in class yet. I went to see his counselor. Then the woman looked at me and was like, you looking for Andrew? I said, yes. Then I went back and said, can I just see his record, his school record, and see how he's doing? That one was like, yeah, but you have to get permission from him first because he's over 18. Can you imagine that? And I pick up my phone. Andrew, where are you? I'm on my way to class. Can you come to your counselor's office? What are you doing there? I said, I'm here. I want to check your school records. And the woman said, I cannot look at it. She said, that woman is crazy. Show her whatever she wants to see. And you won't get out. I'm on my way now. That is exactly what she told the counselor. I said, that woman, you better give her what she wants to see or she won't leave. So after I left, the woman went to the class and said, if every parent can pay attention, say, Andrew's mom, even though he didn't like that, Andrew's mom was in school today and came to me, checked his school record and everything. But if every mother does that, they will know if their child is in school and doing what they're supposed to. The fun part of him being in college, he came home one day. He's a therapist.
Before, let me.
Yes, sir.
College, when we are saying college now, in Nigeria we can be saying college and we mean high school. No, college in the US is university.
It's university. Okay, sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
The fun part of him, the fun part of it is he came up. He's a therapist now, and there's some classes that he has to take. One of them is a biological class. So he was like, I registered him the first time. He took back my money. The second time, I said, what's going on? He said, that class is difficult, Mom. I said, it's called anatomy and physiology. I said, really? He said, yes. I went and registered for that class in summer. That's how I handle my children. I registered for that class in summer. I made an A. AMP 1, A in summer 1, AMP 2, A in summer 2. I said, Mom, normal people don't do that class in summer and get A. I said, you know, boy, I don't want you to be normal. Just go do the normal class and come with either a B or the C that they needed you for that class. All they are asking is a C to go to next level. Now, if I can do it, working, and still get an A in summer that you know normal people don't do, you better come with a better grade. So the third registration, he has no choice but to take that class. How many parents will do that? Those are part of the price I paid. You have to pay some price for your children to be where you want them to be. If you keep chasing money, now I can, because I don't have little kids in the house anymore. But when they were schooling, they will be a witness. I do everything within my power to make sure they don't have an excuse not to be where they're supposed to be. That's why they took the class in person. I said, no, I killed the fear for you.
So what else would you say?
Now tell me why you cannot do it now. Say, Mom, don't worry, I'll take it.
Wow.
Now after college, I told him, I say, every time I'm on his case, you can't go out, you can't do this, you can't do that, you have to be this, you have to, because of the license you're going to get. Ask me one day, Mom, what can I do to get you off my back? I said, the day you bring your master's degree home, then we're on the same level, because I have a master's degree. I said, then I can tell you. So after the graduation, he tested my faith. He was like, going out. Mom, I'm going out. I said, bye-bye. Mom, I'm going out. I said, you are free, go. I said, Mom, I said I'm going out. I said, you can go. Then he came to me, are you okay? I said, yes, I'm okay. He said, but I said I'm going out. He didn't even ask, where, when, how. I said, boy, we had an agreement. You fulfilled your part. I'm fulfilling mine. You've done what I wanted. You've gotten to where I want you to be, that I know you cannot starve. You have something to give you life, to give you food on your table, to feed a family. Wow. So at this point, you don't need me anymore. Say, Mom, no, I need you.
Wow, this is so interesting. Intentional parenting.
That's right.
Needs a lot of sacrifices.
Yes.
Dupe has shown us how she did it in the US.
Yes.
You too, wherever you are, even within Nigeria, you can do it. Just be intentional. Believe in God, set the pace, and you laugh last.
Yes.
Wow, this is how we are going to end it today. My name is Kemi Iwalesi, your host on this beautiful show. I'm sure you enjoyed it. Please, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so. Download the app on Google's Play Store and you'll be glad you did. This is Divine TV. Bye.